Hey guys, we have heard about everybody talk about Jose Altuve possibly moving to the outfield. Well, today we actually heard from the man himself talk about it. We'll talk about this and more on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Astros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. And soon you're going to be able to watch us on your Roku device. Just go ahead and go to Roku device. You should see option for I forgot what the channel is called, but I'll look it up. But you can also look us up on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Just go ahead and search the free channels app. You can go and search Astros, and you can go ahead and watch Brett and I on your big screen TV. So, guys, we are excited. Pitchers and catchers have already reported. Well, players are reporting tomorrow. Everybody's going to be reporting tomorrow. So a lot of the players have already reported. Jose Altuve reported today. You saw Christian Walker report today. Isaac Paredes reported today. So a lot of the position players, including Yordan Alvarez, reported today. So a lot of the big-time names are there already. And so tomorrow's the report date for all the players. And this is the big time where Espada gets to sit down with the whole team and say, hey, yeah, we lost some big pieces to the team, but hey, we're still think that we're a winner. We're going to go out there. We're going to still kick some butt in 2025 and go over the plan for spring training, because so far it's been just a bunch of pitchers throwing. And remind me not to open up Twitter or X before the podcast, because I just saw something that disgusted me. It's Kyle Tucker in the Cubs uniform, and it's just kind of a weird feeling to see Kyle Tucker over there. Then you saw Bregman in the Red Sox, but this is a brand new Astros team. This was kind of not a rebuild. This was kind of a reset. This was them kind of just not being handcuffed, so to speak, by Bregman and just making some other moves. So I think what you're seeing is a transitioning phase, and they still have the mind to win, and they're still looking at ways to win. So, guys, go ahead and ask some questions with Brett not here. I may not get to your question right away. If you want to ask the question again a little bit later, that's fine, but I'll try to get to all the questions. But first of all, I do want to talk about Jose Altuve. I know we've been talking about Jose Altuve a lot, but this is what everybody wants to know. Every player who's been interviewed, they've been asked about Jose Altuve moving to left field. Even Jose Altuve was asked about moving to left field. And Altuve did not have an outfielder's glove. So, of course, he borrowed the big man himself, Alvarez's glove. So just imagine that you have Alvarez's like Altuve out there with Alvarez's glove, and Alvarez afterwards was saying, yeah, he borrowed my glove and he dropped a ball today, but he blamed it on the glove. So he's ordered a new one, and so he should get a new one. But Espada said that you have Altuve out there. It comes natural to him. And I'm not surprised, because Jose Altuve is just an elite athlete. And that he also mentioned that he's out there having fun. It's just like a kid in a candy store. He's out there, he's doing something different. And as a teacher or whatever profession you're in, whether it's a nurse, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's if you're doing the same thing for like how many years has he been doing it? 13 years, however long he's been in the league. Playing the same position, it's what you know how to do. But at the same time, if you get a chance to maybe switch schools or switch practices or switch hospitals, or just do something a little bit different, it's a little bit exciting. And that's what Jose Altuve is doing right now. He's excited about this. And I love the way he's approaching this. You have Devers over there with the Red Sox saying, no, I don't care if Bregman, he didn't say this like this, but he basically he's saying, I don't care that Bregman's here. I play third base. I'm the third baseman. That's bottom line. I'm not going to be DH. I'm not a DH. I'll play DH some days, but I'm not going to be the DH. But you have Altuve, and apparently the Astros approached him about possibly moving to the outfield at the end of last season, whether it's to bring back Alex Bregman or whether it's because of his diminishing skills at second base. I think only the Astros front office knows, but Altuve has taken this with stride. Altuve said spring training will tell us a lot. Later on, I could give you a better answer, but for now, I just want to prepare, get ready everywhere I could play, and focus and just be 100% and be ready for the season. And he also said, I don't want this to be a big deal. Everybody's making a big deal. I'm here to get ready for the season, whether it's at second base, left field. I just want to get out there and play the game I love. I don't care where they put me at. Just put me in, coach. You have the Astros' best player out there saying, put me in, coach. I don't care where. I'll play. I just want to be in a lineup. And that's what you love about this guy. This is why Astros fans literally love Jose Altuve. I want to play. I want to be in the lineup. I want to help this win. I want to keep hitting doubles and triples and home runs for this team. It doesn't really matter where I play. I'm going to try to do my best. And that's what you love about this guy. And yes, I know I've seen a lot of people commenting, I don't want Jose Altuve in the outfield at all. Have we seen all the players that run into the walls and everything? Yes, we know that that's a risk. But the Astros, obviously, they have a reason for wanting to move Jose Altuve to the outfield. It may not work. It may be epic disaster. They're not going to do anything that's going to hurt the team. So if after X amount of games in spring training, if it's not working, it's not working. It's just something that they're going to try. And it's just so awesome, the fact that he's just going out there. And Dubon said he's an athlete. People don't realize how good he moves. And he, out of all these people, he's the one that can go from second base to the outfield. Sometimes he makes it look easy. It's not that easy. It's hard. Catching ground balls there, then the next one has to go to outfield. But of all the people, Jose can do it. Altuve will turn 35 in May, but he still runs, 37.1 feet per second. So this guy can still run. He can still track the balls down. Now, the question is he going to have the vertical leap that somebody as tall as Alvarez will? Probably not. Is he going to have the best instincts of somebody that's played outfield their entire career? Probably not. But is he going to go out there and embarrass himself? I don't think so. I don't think that's the type of player that Jose Altuve is. And I think the biggest issue is that he doesn't have the strongest arm. It was kind of hidden at the fact that he does play second base. Maybe the fact that he gets to have more of a running jump in the outfield will kind of hide that. Maybe Jeremy Pena and whoever, maybe Paredes and maybe even Dubon or whoever's playing second base can maybe be more of a cutoff guy for him and help with the arms. But I don't know if he's going to have a lot of guys. He's not going to have a lot of assists throwing people out at home plate. But if this guy can do it, he could do it. Christian Walker, who hasn't even played baseball with him, he said his willingness to do what the team need is most important. I think that's honorable. This guy came to the Astros organization because of what he's heard about the Astros, and he's wanted to play with Jose Altuve. And for him to recognize that if this guy's willing to change what he's done his entire life to do what's best for the team, then that just shows what type of player it is. So we're going to talk about, I know we talked about Dubon yesterday, but I still think there's a plan for maybe not right away, but we'll talk about what their plan maybe B is for later in the season for who could play second base. And then we can also talk a little bit later on about Alvarez. What does he think about Jose Altuve playing outfield? And what does he think about the butterfly effect of Jose Altuve playing the outfield, so to speak. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. In sports, having a winning strategy is everything. It's how the best teams go to Super Bowl, the World Series, and the Olympics. The same thing goes for life. Having a strategy like life insurance from SelectQuote can protect your financial legacy and keep your family's future secure. Whether you just got a $40 million annual contract from the Red Sox or you're a teacher, SelectQuote makes it easy to find perfect life insurance policy. As one of America's leading insurance brokers with over 40 years of experience, they've helped over 2 million customers find $700 billion in coverage since 1985. What sets SelectQuote apart is their personal touch. Unlike other brokers that offer one-size-fits-all policy, their licensed agents tailor coverage to fit your unique needs. If you're in good health, you might even qualify for same-day coverage of up to $5 million. Get the right insurance for you for less at selectquote.com/locked-on. Go to selectquote.com/locked-on today to get started. That's selectquote.com/locked-on to get started today. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and check us out. So before I move away from Altuve, he did address the big elephant in the room, and everybody's talking about Bregman. Everybody's talking about did the Astros do enough? And he said, yeah, the Astros did do enough. We offered him a good deal, but with free agents, you never know. You don't know. At the end, he signed a great deal. I'm super happy. And I know everybody in here is happy. He deserved it. He worked hard for that, and he got it. And I love his quote here. He said, he signed a great deal, man. $40 million. Not a lot of players can get that, and he got it. We're happy for him, but we have to move on and focus on the players we have here. And he said the goal remains the same, which is winning. We're going to have to go ahead and continue to do that. And so I think that Altuve has the right frame of mind, and Alvarez has the right frame of mind. And he says, no secret, we are still a good team. He thinks that even after losing Bregman and Tucker, they can still go out there and win. And a lot of people brought up about him being potentially a DH only this season, and he did address that. He said that. He hasn't really had that conversation, but he understands that this is a spot's decision. He'll play wherever he wants to play. If it's DH, that's fine. But obviously, but the main thing is he wants to know where he's going to be He's going to be batting in batting order. I know last year a big topic, especially when the Astros got off to that terrible start, a lot of people were talking about where should Alvarez bat? And he was batting second during the bad start of the season. And a lot of people said, well, that's not where he should be. They should move him. And the Astros moved him. And then they kept on kind of moving back and forth. In the playoffs, they moved him back to second. And so Alvarez is like, I want to know where I'm going to bat. I don't care where I'm going to bat. I'll bat wherever the team needs me, but I'm kind of superstitious in a way. If I'm going to bat second, I want to bat second most games. If I'm going to bat third, I want to bat there most games. I just want to know where I'm going to be. It's just something where going to the field and knowing where I'm going to bat. And as I guess you can understand that. I mean, if you're talking about somebody like Chas McCormick, who may not be playing every day, or somebody like Jake Myers, who may not be playing every day, you can't go in there and say, you know what, Joe, I want to bat in this spot. But if you're talking about the best or second best hitter on this team, he can say, you know what, this is a conversation. I don't want to be going back and forth. And you had a team full of great hitters last year, and this was an issue. So he was also asked about, well, Alvarez, you do know that you hit a lot better as a left fielder compared to being a DH. And he says, yeah, it's not something I think about when I'm in left field, that I might hit better than when I'm DHing. Obviously, I've seen the numbers. but I'm still working on developing that routine to stay engaged, to stay warm, to stay hot as a DH. Because if he's going to be a DH all year, this is something that he's going to have to get used to. And I love this. He said, I can get better. And everybody was like, wait, you can get better? He's one of the best hitters in the game, and he can get better. And he said exactly what I've been saying. You have those cold streaks that he gets into where he can't hit a home run for 20 games or something like that. And then he has the injuries that he consistently has. So these are some issues that he brought up today. And so he said that he thinks that his best years offensively are ahead of him. So this is awesome. As an Astros fan, you should be excited to hear what he says about the situation. And they also asked him about whether he gave Altuve any advice about playing left field. He was like, yeah, I'm not really the right person to be asking about how to play left field. He's actually a better outfielder than he gives himself credit for. He may not be a natural outfielder, but he's got that arm out there. He's got some good skills. He may not be the fastest guy out there, but he doesn't embarrass him. And he said that his knees are pretty good, no new issues from the knee, so he should be ready to go. He feels healthy. He feels like he's good to go. So he just wants to hit in the same spot. And so I know a lot of people want to know what the lineup is. I don't know what the whole lineup will be, and I think it just depends on what the Astros want to do analytically. But if you're asking me, I think it would be Altuve. If you're going to hit Alvarez second, hit him second. Walker, I would put Christian Walker batting third. And then with the season that Diaz had last year, I'll put him as the cleanup guy. And then Paredes would bat fifth. And then you'd have Pena batting sixth. And then Chaz would be batting seventh. And then Dubon, you'll have DeZenzo or Dubon, depending on who's playing second base or left field. And then then you have Jake Myers probably, and Jake Myers probably in center field, or I'm probably missing somebody else there. But that's my order as of right now. Granted, I didn't put a lot of thought into this, but the top five is what a lot of people are thinking of. I don't know, like a lot of people, if Alvarez is best suited hitting second. I know that the analytics say that you put your best hitter hitting second, but I think he flourishes better batting third, maybe batting fourth. So I think this is something that he's going to have a conversation with Joe Espada. I think he's earned enough clout, so to speak, to actually go in the office and say, hey, I think this is a situation where we need to figure out where I should bat. Is it second? I didn't feel comfortable, but he said it's not really about where I'm hitting. He said that the excuse last year that I struggled because of where I was hitting, that's not excuse. It's the same, no matter where I'm hitting, it doesn't matter. It just, I want to hit in the same spot. So he doesn't matter if it's second or third. So that's a good part there. So Altuve did borrow his glove. So hopefully he gets his glove back, because hopefully he gets some time in left field. But I did bring up Christian Walker. We're going to talk about Christian Walker in a second. And I did bring up the butterfly effect. And I do have Brice Matthews on the thumbnail for a reason. We'll go and talk about this on the Locked On Astros podcast. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us. Go and make your first listen on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just go and check us out. So I know a lot of people are thinking about this season. If Altuve's in left field, who's going to be at second base? We know that Dubon has already said, I'll volunteer as tribute, and he showed that he can play the position very well. But I think that we have a situation where we can see what Bryce Matthews can do at AAA. I don't think he's ready for the big leagues. Even if he has a unbelievable spring training, Brice Matthews has a problem with the curve. And so this is something that the Astros notice. This is something that people across baseball notice. And this is something that he needs to work on. And so even that, even Joe Spada kind of alluded to this and said that he needs to work on this before he can handle fastballs. We know that he's got a pretty good feel for strike zone. It's more about consistency. Be more of a complete hitter, knowing that when things aren't going well, how those slumps can be reduced to 3 or 4 day slumps instead of a week-long slump. That's the difference sometimes between a major league hitter and a minor league hitter. So we have a guy that Keith Law said he can't hit breaking stuff at all right now. And this was last year. And so remember last year, he had a stint where he struck out 19 times and 42 at-bats in his brief AAA appearance. And then he struck out 30 times and 85 plate appearances in Puerto Rican winter ball. But Espada traveled to winter ball to watch Matthews and DeZenzo play. And Matthews started 11 of his 19 games at second base. And Espada noticed how well he handled position. And of course, he played shortstop at Nebraska. So he's only made one start at second base during his 2-year professional college career. But he's also he's played some at the minor league level, but this could be a route for him. If he can learn how to hit the breaking pitches, Brice Matthews could also play second base. So I know a lot of y'all are thinking, why are we moving Altuve to left field? This is something that the Astros are strategically trying. This is in the plans. This is something that sometimes you have to do when you feel like a player is diminishing returns in terms of the position they're playing. So you have to go ahead and move on and go and move them to a different position. And I think that Devers in Boston, he's a good third baseman, but he's not as good of a defender as Alex Bregman is. So maybe this year, Bregman will play second base. But a little bit down the road, they may have to have a conversation with Devers. But for right now, with Altuve is willing to make that move for the betterment of the team. If maybe the team doesn't think that he's that great a defender at second base anymore, this opens the door for people like Brice Matthews, other prospects. DeZenzo could, or Shea Whitcomb could possibly play if he impresses during spring training. So I don't think that Matthews is ready for out of spring training. But come June or something, if he's hot and he's showing that he can hit the breaking pitches that AAA pitchers throw, then you could see him up. If Dubon, if they want to get Dubon more in that utility role, that they're comfortable with him. But and it also depends on what's going on with Chaz and Jake Myers. I mean, if they're struggling, then they're going to have to figure out something else to do. I still think that DeZenzo, if he shows that he could play right field, so to speak, and he can hit during spring training, I think that he has an inside shot to make the opening day roster and actually play consistently. I think that it's going to be between McCormick and Jake Myers. I know Jake Myers, he's probably the best center fielder out there, but I think Chas McCormick is a great hitter, is a better hitter than Chas McCormick. So I think all this stuff will be ironed out as spring training goes along. But yeah, I know Chaz doesn't have an arm, and then you have Altuve. If he's playing left field, he doesn't technically have an arm, but it's just the Astros are where they are. Yes, Alex Verdugo is still out there. There's a reason why Alex Verdugo is possibly out there. Maybe he's not the same hitter as he used to be. Maybe his agent's asking for too much, or maybe teams are just waiting to see what they have. Then once they realize what they have isn't good enough, that's when they sign players like Alex Verdugo. So I think the Astros want to see what they have in the house. before they spend any more money. And I think that's what you're seeing here. So I think that I know that the Braves, Gurriel signed with the Padres today. So Gurriel has another team. So I think that it's awesome to see. Oh, I did not even think about that, Chris. I'm not going to mention what Chris put in the chat, but that's a pretty interesting situation there. But I just think that the Astros are in a situation where they have an outfield that's full of question marks. We know that one of Chaz or Jake is going to be out there, but we don't know who. It all depends on what happens. I think the Astros love DeZenzo's bat, but is his glove be good enough in the outfield? Because he's not going to play a lot in the infield. And so there's just a lot of different ifs. And I think this is something that the Astros are not used to. They're not used to having this many openings. So we talked about Forrest Whitley yesterday, and I just a little quote from Espada. He said, it would be nice if I can get him out there for 4 or 5 outs, if necessary, 6 outs. I love the stuff, and he's been a starter in the past. I don't want to take that strength away from him. If he can go out there and get 2+ innings, that's our goal. And so I really think that Forrest Whitley, I don't know if he's going to be that setup guy to the setup guy, but I think that he's going to be a pivotal role, especially early in the season when starters aren't fully built up. He can be that guy that kind of builds up to the back end of the bullpen. And so we'll see how this all handles out. But I know that the Astros have this positive attitude. At this point, they're not, woe is me. We don't have the same team we did last year. Well, the Astros weren't a overall great team last year. They lost to the Tigers, and they were swept in the wild card series. And they got off to a historically bad start to the season. And they had to come back with a historical finish just to even make the playoffs. So I think they needed some type of change. Did I think that they're going to lose both Bregman and Tucker? No, but Dana Brown did warn us he's going to have to be creative. And so I'm excited to see what Christian Walker has to offer. And he came in, and one of the reporters asked him, well, do you feel comfortable enough about being the DJ? Because Tucker was the DJ. And he's like, yeah, I've got this whole playlist. I'm not shy to go and share that playlist. And Altuve was asked about who's going to be DJ now Tucker's gone. He's like, oh, not me. I don't want to do it. And he said, it's got to be somebody that knows their music. And he said, it's probably either going to be DeBon or I think he said Chaz. And I think he said definitely not. No, he said not Chaz, if I remember correctly. So but I think maybe it was Jake Myers. There's one other person that he said, but definitely not Chaz, I think, if I remember correctly. But Walker seems like a good individual. He said a lot of good things about Tony Perez Chico, and it's something that I think it was Chico Perez or whatever his name is. Sorry if I got it backwards, but he said that he's really good and really patient at working with the infielders. So this is a situation where I'm really glad he's on the team, and he's somebody that will help the infield and make them better position and fielder. So for the last 2 minutes of the podcast, I'll go ahead and take some questions. We need nicknames for where is it? We need nicknames for Walker and Paredes. I'm sure some nicknames will come around as time goes, but I'm not sure if we have those right now. And Linda said she cracked up when he said not Chaz. Pena now has Bregman's locker. Okay, well, somebody's got to move into Bregman's locker. So, but I just think that, yeah, I think DeZenzo is my dark horse too. I think that I don't know if he's gonna be the everyday starter, but they're not gonna have him on the opening day roster just to sit. That's not what the Astros do. But I think that if he does show that he can play right field, I know Brett yesterday was saying left field, but I think if Altuve is going to be playing left field, then you're going to go. He's got to play right field. He's not going to be playing center field. So the only way to earn playing time on this team is likely in right field, maybe play left field. So I think you'll see a lot of situations where DeZenzo will be doing what Altuve is doing, playing some in outfield during spring training, and also you'll be seeing him playing at first base, maybe even third base. And I missed this the other day. Espada said that Bryce Matthews will be the starter for the first game of the spring training. So that doesn't mean anything, but that's cool honor for Bryce Matthews and showing that the team does see what he's doing and see that he's part of the future. So, guys, that's all I got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for making us your first listen, whether it's on the YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and make us your first listen. And Rio says, walk off Walker. That's pretty good, but it needs to be something that flows a little bit better than that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you on McCullers? I'm 10%. I'm a 10 on his confidence. I'm about an 8 on what he can do for us soon. But I think mid-season, I think we're going to see a whole different Lance McCullers. I think I would give that around a 9-ish or so. But I think with everything that's happened, he's going to have to go out and show us. But I think he's got the determination where he can do it. So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and maybe we'll get some more quotes. And, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.